Hey everybody, Deathblow here. Once again, we're exploring a new kind of content on the channel, and today we're going to be coaching a knight player. This is a Discord member who reached out to me, asked if I'd be willing to review his gameplay and take a look and see if there were any spots where I thought he could improve and give him any notes that I had. So I decided to do this on stream with him in chat, so there is a little bit of interactivity there and some chat chiming in as well with some other advice. Let me know in the comments what you think of this kind of content. I would love to do more coaching in the future. If you're interested in getting one of your games reviewed and coached, please do join the Discord with the link in the description below. I've set up a channel for you to be able to submit your games. Just go ahead and upload them into Google Drive and share the link in the Discord channel, and I will get to them if I can. No guarantees that I'll get to them all. I have no idea what kind of response I will be getting from this, but if I have the time, I will take a look at your games and give you some notes. Any games that do get submitted there, please be aware I may make them into a YouTube video, so submitting them is basically your consent to do so. Enjoy the video. Alright, so it looks like you're going to take Krampus, and that's the right choice of the two. We have a fast forward button. That's a terrible opening shop. I don't mind doing that. I personally might have just taken Cinderella, though. But this is your best on-board strategy. But I think it's worth... Like, I would have... That's really tough. The 7-2. I don't know if I'd have risked it because I wouldn't have wanted the 2-2 crafty. But because you hit that, I think you got the best possible outcome. Might have been a little risky, though. Kinda had to there. Yeah. Those are the right buys. Locking here is also correct. So you should have locked. It would widen your board out and put you on a pair. Also give you a decent minion that scales. You can leave this on your bench, and then if you assemble Catbook sort of a thing, then you're in a really good situation. So don't be afraid to kind of stash those. But widening your board with the 3-drop and then those 2 1s would have absolutely been the call. Gets the slay trigger anyways. But yeah, Blevins is, I think, right. Let's look at the positioning quick. So yeah, move the dwarves over, put the slay minion in the attack first spot, and you'll be good. You'll be in a good spot. So locking early can get you in trouble, but it's important to like play into what you're doing, right? You want evil characters, so like this is just good on its own. You know, it pairs, it works well, right? And it's got to be a really important priority to widen out your board as much as you can early. And with 3 open spots, 1, 2, and then whatever else you buy is the third, and then your board's full. And then you can kind of be a little pickier about what you buy and what direction you go. But yeah, I think the most important thing you can do in the level 2 turns and in the level 3 turns is widen out your board, fill up all your spaces, and be as gold efficient as you possibly can be. And buying these for 1 is very gold efficient. Buy this pig. Its stats are great on the board. It's very early, so it's less of a risk to get popped on you, and you have the ability to fill up your empty board spot with this spell. So I would buy this pig and cast this spell, which gives you your full board, and then now you're completely stuck. Should cast this spell and hope to win. Maybe roll. You got punished really hard for the choice as well. And then this is, you're throwing good money after bad here. So you put yourself in this bad position, and then you're trying to make up for it, and you're like getting half value on a good support minion, don't get me wrong, but this just, the whole thing didn't pan out because it was kind of a whiff. But yeah, you got massively punished, so that was a little unfair. Like, the game could have given you a decent 2-drop, and then you'd have been in good shape. But yeah, well, that was great. No trigger for you. Yeah. Don't mind me, chat. I'm very toxic. Nice to get a permanent buff on that as well. Yeah, it gave us like a great example, right? Like, this is why you do that, because just reliable, good board stats to fill up your board is significantly better. Curious what you do. So again, this is like compounding your earlier mistake, because now you're doing things you don't want to do, right? Look at your Krampus, okay? And you have 3 dwarves and 3 good minions with supports for each of them. Now, the dwarves weren't, you didn't have a choice. You play what's given to you. You don't roll those turns. This is what was given to you. Other than the Cinderella play on turn 1, which would have kept you out of this. And that's another reason why I might have done it, because on Krampus, you would rather not be in this dwarf situation. But that said, what you did was good. Widen the board philosophy and everything like that, and like just play the best board you could get. It worked for that, but I might have taken the Spellweaver just because I want out of this situation that I'm in. I'm trying not to be stuck, and so I would rather let the card I bought last turn be less valuable and get myself closer to a position where I want to be. And yeah, this is even a 3-4 ranged at this point in the game is pretty strong. So, but you make this decision, which is fine. Like I said, there's very good reasoning to make this purchase, but now I'm curious what your board position is going to be. So your positioning isn't great here. So you did the bare minimum, what we needed to do, which was get this here. But use this support on it. It's okay to get 1 less. Don't think of this as a card that you have to hit. Don't do everything in your power to make sure you activate this card. Allow yourself to get full value at all your supports. This puts too much emphasis on all I care about is Brave Princess triggering. Which at least it did. You're also going to stop this guy because he stinks. His board's just not good. Especially versus you. Everything you do this turn should be revolved around casting the end and furthering your board position as best as you can around the understanding that you're going to want to cast the end right. You've widened out, you're a full board. What? So what am I doing in this board situation? I have cards here I want to get off of, mostly the dwarves. I can get more value out of these 3 good minions and you don't have to be all in on evil on Krampus, but like look to use it where you can, right? So I'm buying Spellweaver. I'm gonna probably position 1 it. I'm casting the end on the smaller of the 2 tinies. Up 1 minion, we're down a minion, so we're even. And we're out of gold. So then you'd probably bury those in the far position. No, Celius, your lines of play have reasoning. Like, you know, there's a reason you asked me to look at it, right? So don't feel bad about the different lines. You're seeking the right answers, and that's half the battle, to be perfectly honest with you. This game really wants you to cast it too. On the Fanny? Yeah, you're probably right, Blevins. Fanny is the better target for sure. And I like that, so you're getting rewarded for the line you're on as well. So I like that decision. I don't know what's right, but personally, I would have the adventurer in position 1. Maybe not against Pup though. I don't know if that was in your decision making. That Pup is going to be a little harder to hit the triggers on, so this gives you your better chance to hit the adventurer. Maybe. Let's fast forward and see what his board looks like. Narrow, which is unfortunate for you. So 1 and 3 to hit. If you'd followed my advice. Probably worth it, right? Yeah, you were still at 40 HP, so anything you can do to cast that at the end is huge. You didn't, and you still lost this, so it would have been 8 damage instead, and you'd be a turn ahead. The end is a crazy, crazy good. Should be casting this spell on the adventurer before we even get there. Nice. And this should, in your mind, the Brave Princess should basically not be on your team. Not saying take it off your board. Look at this positioning too. Get the good in front of the good support. I'm pointing it out. Chat pointed this out to me earlier, one of my other games, right? That I was doing the exact same thing. I don't mind that buy, but what did you just play against? Like, look at this guy's board. You want to fight him for dwarves? He's not leaving. So now you're opting into competing with dwarves. And you're on a character that easily gets a lot of value off of that broccoli instead. Buy that broccoli, put it in over this tiny. Then you could even sell tiny, Fanny, tiny, and buy this queen. And, well, you already used the spell. You wouldn't even need to sell everything. Going for dwarves here feels a little bit like trying to square peg round hole situation, you know? On an adventurer plan like this, there's a lot to be said for just doing the best board strategy sometimes. Because you're going to get there fast, especially if you can keep supporting this, keep triggering it, and should hit this turn. Yep. Our contract. But in your situation, you're going dwarves, so yeah, you're not going to take it. But Dark Contract plus leans into your hero a little bit as well. And so you could be 1 or 2 turns away from level 6 right now. Had you cast the first the end, and then cast that one, and also had your one adventure trigger. I like that positioning. I get why you went back on it, but I still would do the adventure left. Pretty much never. Okay. Ancient Sarcophagus. Again, like, all of this would be more apparent had you kind of been in line with my thinking earlier. But we know there's 2 mummies back there. We also know you're ahead on level. You're going against somebody who's weak, though probably spiking right about now. I couldn't possibly pass up the amount of direct damage that you get to deal next turn and knock this guy out if you take those 2. So we're going to look at his board and see what -4, maybe -8 would do to it. But you could have... The only minion I wouldn't have sold was the one you got rid of. You're buying these, so I love that. But if you're buying these, then Sarcophagus is better. If Princess thinks. Huge. You're not going to win, but you're in a... Well, actually, you very well might. No. Close one. Ooh. Good choice. Anything here, improve your board. See, you're in a tough spot because it's going to be hard to like improve over the these minions all kind of buffing each other and everything. You almost like need to replace them at one time. So I might be looking for something that I can hold on to help me make that switch later. I could argue that Mim is better than Fanny in general. What are you locking here for? I don't mean that like lead that to say it's wrong, but I'm just wondering what your mindset is here. The Queen, is it the Cupid? Cupid? Okay. The better of the 2. I don't know if I lock for it when I'm leaning, but certainly not a terrible option. But I would be trying pretty hard to find, of any good minions I would want to play, it's probably Why am I blanking on the card? Lancelot is what you probably want to buy, right? Because you'd have multiple Sporkos and a Mim to pump it. So you're talking about 13 right out of the gate. 20, so you're almost there. Just by putting it on the board. You've done some leveling, and I already can tell you're not gonna. Double down. Go for it. Again, better even still if you have the sarcophagus, but might as well go for it, I would say. You get to go Mim over this. You bring this in over one of the dwarves, and then just play the Brave Princess for the one turn or whatever. Okay, so you've identified that you're giving up on dwarves, which is very good. I don't have anything that it triggers. So I'm a little curious if you're going to lock that Lancelot, but the Lancelot is just much better in the situation. Again, keep the Mim too, because it gets to backline and you get to use it. Like the Fanny is the one that should go there. You forget to roll. He also burned a gold not rolling. But yeah, the Grimsoul didn't have a trigger, so I don't get it. Too big. I like that with the supports. I think that's a good purchase. I'm probably buying that Siren. Yeah, and that Grimsoul didn't even last long for you. Positioning down. Backline this Cupid and put it here. Where your actual supports are positioned doesn't matter anymore. So you want the Cupid to be attacking as fast as possible in the back line if you can. And there's nothing stopping you from doing it. You typically want a position 1 or position 5. Take that, dead guy. Save that gold. You're at 6 HP. The whole lobby's level 6 at this point. Even if they're level 5, if they're beating you, they have a minion on the board, so you're still dead. A massive improvement over what you had, but a very steep investment for something that has no chance of being actually part of your team. I would have rather have bought this Ashwood. If you had an Ashwood, that might have opened up that as a buy. And for the record, now in this situation, Cupid should be position 2. It has to be Doom Breath 1, but you just want to get the Cupid attacking as soon as possible after that. We're still really looking for an endgame composition here. Like, we're in 6, we're 6 HP. There's not a lot left in the lobby, and I have no idea what composition you're aiming for. So that's another thing I'd say is really know if at the end of your second turn of being level 6, you don't know what direction you want to be in, you're going to lose quickly. Like, if you don't even know, still might lose if you don't get there, but like, you have to have an idea of what comp you want to be in, what direction you want to be going in, and be building towards that as best you can. Yeah, Doom has to be position 1 or take it out of your squad, unless you have 2. So yeah, honestly, I think this decision was minor and it paid off for you, but that was, I think, the all-around better play because of who your hero is, things like that. Your hands were tied here, and then this is, I think, one of the big lessons to learn in this game, right? Was to lock this to widen your board. I can't remember if you get punished. Your dwarves are pretty decent, so probably not. 40 for a while. So yeah, I think the early game is where I focus most of your attention. This was another turn, right? This is a really good buy. Buy the pig, buy the donkey, cast the spell, which fills your board. I think that was a really good buy, and we missed that, and missing that brought us into weirdness, right? It debated you into doing things that kind of compounded your problems, selling minions that fit into your hero and play into your hero to like get half value off of them. I think those two decisions were the big ones for me. And then maybe the selling of that adventurer was a close third. Yeah, so on the adventurer plan, best board is a great strategy, and it was what you were doing, but then you left the adventurer plan, which just left you in limbo, right? You were stuck with an anti-synergistic comp. Because when you're playing the best board strategy on adventure, really what you're doing is just trying to take as little damage when you lose as possible, because you're playing these cards that aren't actually good to your board, right? They just have a powerful effect that you want. Sorry if that was loud, but I just punched a spring on my mic arm, so it was probably horrendous. But yeah, so you're just trying to like take as little damage as you can for a little while, and it's a little clunky and weird, but